Eric, a disappointing night in the end. Just talk us through that one.
Yeah, really frustrating. I think it certainly didn't go to plan in the sense that we never really got going. We never had full control of the game. We were really uncharacteristically poor in possession, and I don't think we demonstrated anywhere near the levels of quality that we've got in that group, which is really disappointing because it's such a good stage to go and do it on, and a really good opportunity for us to match ourselves against a senior side. So on the whole, really disappointing.
Let's just look at that first half and a goal for Tyra and a Forey. Some good moments actually at times.
Yeah, as I say, without actually controlling the game, we've managed to carve out some really good chances, and I think probably the biggest criticism is that despite the fact that we haven't played well, we've had opportunities to kill the game and didn't, particularly in the first half, and then creeping into the second half there were moments very early on where it could have been put to bed, and we could have managed the game far better in that sense. I think the crucial moment was the penalty miss in the second half, and I think we never really recovered from that. That certainly seemed to deflate us. So I think probably more a mentality thing in that sense that's let us down in our ability to not manage the game. So yeah, disappointing.
That second half, it just seemed to pass people by at times.
Yeah, again, disappointing for our young pros today. I think we'd have really hoped that a couple of them had stepped up the mark and took the game by the scruff of the neck, and although they've shown in patches why they've gone and got those deals, I think they'll probably tell you themselves that the performance was well below what we would expect and what they would expect of themselves.
Because it was a big opportunity tonight. The gaffer was here, Doigie was here. It was a big opportunity for them to make a mark.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really important that they step up when it counts, and when they're under the gaze of the first team management, they've got to do it, and they've got to show why they should be knocking on the door for a spot within that first team squad and potentially the starting lineup. So it's disappointing from them and disappointing for the academy as a whole, I would say, because it's nights like tonight where we'd like to showcase what we're about, and I don't think we've done that tonight.
Penalty shootouts, always a lottery though, aren't they, in the end?
Absolutely, and I think we've put ourselves in a position where they're able to nick it on the basis of a penalty shootout, whereas half an hour earlier we could have killed the game, and I think had we managed it better, had we been more clinical, and we'd have done that quite comfortably, and it would have looked entirely different at the end of the night, because as you mentioned, we had moments of quality without having control. So that mentality in terms of managing the game better and being clinical wasn't there.
Disappointing though, isn't it? Because this is a competition that the first team staff say to the academy, you know, go and prove yourselves, and they just don't quite do it. It's disappointing.
Yeah, it's a hard one, because I think perhaps from Shawbury's point of view, it's a big game and the opportunity to play against the county's biggest side. But that's something that our young lads have got to deal with, and I don't think they did well enough, and that's something we talked about before the game, during and after. And it's a shame, because we were excited about how far we could go in this competition. There's some potential to go and play some really strong opposition later on in the competition, as competitive as Shawbury made it tonight. So that's disappointing that we haven't been able to showcase ourselves against a TNS or a Telford perhaps. So yeah, it's a case of not maximising what this competition could have given us, really.
How do you take some positives from tonight, and what do you say to the players to make sure they're ready for that Wolves game on Saturday?
Again, the approach to the academy players after a game like tonight is that it's a learning curve, and the fact that it was a difficult environment in the sense that it was a cup final for Shawbury. They're playing under scrutiny of the manager and his assistants, and if you throw that into the mix, and that becomes quite a difficult situation for a young player. So learning how to deal with that scrutiny in a game like tonight is massive, and I think it's players who can handle a situation like tonight that will ultimately go on and make the next step. So everything we talked about prior to the game emphasised the mental side of things and being able to deal with what is a difficult situation. So the positive being that we've identified that that's an area in which we've got to improve, and the fact is we've got over a season to improve it now, so particularly with the second and first year scholars, it's a bit of an eye-opener, and I'd say that's the biggest positive.